Hello, everybody. I have some exciting news to share with you. It is the 10 blog anniversary of my blog. Hooray for me! Anyways, because of that, I wanted to do another video just as a little special celebration. And for this video, I want to talk about two different things. I'm just going to take off the popcorn now. Two things. So number one is something that those of you who have been following along a bit might be wondering or thinking, and that is, Dan, why are you raising so many questions but not giving answers? I'm 10 blogs in and I still haven't really given my clear thoughts on the issue of what is the gospel, what is the good news of Christianity. And so I have two things to say to that. Number one is I am going to begin giving my answers very shortly. In fact, in the next blog, I will be doing that, or begin to be doing that. And number two is you kind of need to talk about what the problem is before you give a solution. You know what I mean? The sickness needs to be pointed out before the medicine can be given, if you get what I mean. And actually, sorry, I have a third thing to say about that, and it is, I think, just in general, just in all spiritual life, there's something really cool about asking questions. Asking questions makes us keep searching, keep questioning, keep striving for something more. So when we think we have all the answers, we tend to just relax and think we've, put everything into a nice little box that we can understand. But questions keep us on the search, on the move. So anyways, there's my little defense of why I'm raising so many questions. But then the second major thing that I wanted to say in this little video blog, or vlog if you will, is that all that being said about questions, I am about to try to give my thoughts on what I think the gospel is. And to do so, I want to start at the beginning. What a great place to start. I find as Christians we often tend to focus on Jesus, and just a lot of what we say is about him, and that's great. Jesus is like the center of Christianity. However, when we're talking about, what is the good news, that raises all sorts of questions about who is the good news to? Why do we need good news in the first place? What is good news for? Why good news? How good news? All these sorts of things, and really you need to understand the context, the background. You need to understand what sort of story you're in that really needs good news. And specifically when we're talking about the gospel that Jesus brought, you have to understand Jesus. And really, to understand Jesus, you need to understand the Old Testament. Now, I know that's scary. I don't want to scare people off by saying I'm going to, look through the Old Testament for a while, but I'm going to. What I want to do I know this is a bit ambitious, but I want to start right at the beginning of the Bible and go right through to the end, all the way through the Old Testament, and all the way through the New Testament, pointing out the major sections, the most important sections for understanding what the gospel is. Oh goodness. So I'm just kind of spitballing off the top of my head here. So one thing I want to say about that is a lot of the times when we think of the Old Testament, we shy away from it because it's kind of confusing. It seems kind of outdated, so on and so forth. It's not as warm and fuzzy as the New Testament, so we stay away from it. However, Jesus was very Jewish. Jesus lived and breathed, Jewish life. The life was begun in the Old Testament. And really a lot of what Jesus did was a fulfillment of what the Old Testament was pointing towards. So it's very necessary to be dealt with. Next, I think a lot of the times when we do talk about the Old Testament, we like to talk in terms of children's Sunday school stories. So, if you were to give a child, or if you were to ask a child, what is the story of the New Testament or Old Testament, they might say, well, Adam and Eve were walking in a garden, and then Noah built an ark, and then David slayed Goliath, and Daniel went in the lion's den, and that's about it. That sort of thing. Those are all great stories. However, I think a more deep understanding of the Old Testament actually might focus on some different things than we might tend to focus on in Sunday school. So it would be my attempt to kind of point out those things as I go along, and as I go explain my view of what the gospel is. I could give you my view in like one sentence, but it's a lot better if I just give you my whole argument, just all my thoughts surrounding it, so you know why I think that, if that makes any sense. Anyways, as I've said before, these are just my thoughts. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I know everything about the Bible, but I'll just attempt to give my opinions. Is there anything else I want to say? I don't think so. So anyways, stay tuned, because the next blog is going to be the first chapter of the Bible, and it's going to be dope. I hope. I just rhymed. Okay. See you later. Okay, bye.